Everybody, welcome to the new episode of the Co-op Podcast, episode 64 here on the Koalition.com. Right next to me, I got the usual band of suspects from the website. We got Mr. Richard Bailey Jr. from the Koalition.com, the editor-in-chief. What's happening, my dude?
Yeah, what's up, viewers? I hope everybody's having a good Thanksgiving and looking forward to the Christmas holiday season.
Nice. Next to him, we got Mr. Gary Swaby. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Good to be back on another co-op. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the US. And yeah, I'm finally on camera, and I'm wearing my gown because it's really cold over here, so don't watch that.
You're looking good, man. You finally up there. You kind of leveled up already, so that's pretty cool. Next to him, we got Mr. Edward V. What is happening, me?
Hey, what's up? Saving the best for last. I'm sitting here in my lazy boy, chilling.
All right, with that being said, let's get right into what's been going on. What have we been playing, people? So I'll start it off. First thing I've been playing, I actually finished off the Burial at Sea DLC for Bioshock Infinite. I just finished it not even about an hour or so ago. It's pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. I like how it kind of ended off. Not really going to spoil it for you guys, but there's going to be other parts to this, I guess this like little sub-story, this side story from Bioshock Infinite. So it was pretty cool. Besides that, I also downloaded Soul Sacrifice on my PlayStation Vita from PlayStation Plus. Actually went up for free yet last night, actually, which is pretty cool. If you guys haven't picked that up, definitely check it out. It's an interesting game, especially if you're a fan of Monster Hunter. Aside from that, also did a little trophy hunting for the Thanksgiving holiday season. Did a little trophy hunting in games like, obviously Bioshock Infinite, and also Devil May Cry HD Collection, which is really, really cool. If you're a big fan of Devil May Cry, or if you just don't like the new Devil May Cry, definitely check out the HD Collection. Those are some classic games and easy trophy pickings for you guys out there. Now, let's move on over to Mr. Richard Bailey here.
Wait, I have a question.
What's up?
For the Bioshock thing, like I'm a huge Bioshock fan too, and I like that game. I haven't had a chance to try it out, I guess, because I'm next gen now.
Yeah.
But how is it like in terms of like gameplay wise? Because I heard it's not really action packed.
You mean the DLC itself?
Yeah.
The DLC itself, I mean, it has action to it. It's much more story-driven, like as far as like, taking a different approach, a different kind of turn from what Bioshock Infinite had, because it obviously takes place in Rapture. It doesn't take place in Columbia, and a lot of twists are done to really kind of make it really interesting, especially towards the ending. The ending I feel like is really well handled, and I can't wait to see like where it's going to go from there for the next episode, because I don't think they've even said how many episodes of this are actually going to be. So far I would assume maybe 2 or 3, but, from what they've done in this one, it's pretty damn good.
I think they said 2, but I'm not sure.
Oh, so yeah, so even 2, wherever they go with this sounds like it's going to be amazing. I mean, it's about time, too. This is a much better DLC than the Clash in the Clouds DLC.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So, anyway, moving on. Richard Bailey, what have you been playing, man? It's Turkey Day today, so what you been doing for your Turkey Day?
Well, there were no plans today. I played some NBA 2K14 on PS4. That game consumes most of my time on the PS4. And I've been playing Killer Instinct today on the Xbox One.
How you liking it?
Excellent game. Fun game. I mean, I just was able to set up my Xbox One today because I had a surgery last week, so that went well. So I got plenty of other games that I got to play through, and I'll be able to talk about more in depth the next time around, such as Dead Rising 3, of course, more on Killer Instinct, Rise, and Forza 5. So
you're all next gen out, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think that I will be making a return to current gen. I would like to say that DLC you played, I played that as well. I have a review that will be going up on the site if people want to check it out. But overall, yeah, it was great. But episode 2 is going to be better. It is in 2 parts. Episode 2 is better because you get to play as Elizabeth. So that's going to be better than what I played. But it was okay.
Nice, very nice. So Mr. Gary Swaby, what have you been doing? I mean, it's a big day for you guys over there in the UK. You got your PlayStation 4 coming out real soon. What's happening with you?
Yeah, we're like 45 minutes away from the official launch of the PlayStation 4 in Europe, but sadly I'm not getting one, unfortunately. But I have, played some Xbox One last week at Carl's house because, he got the Xbox One. So, me and Rams went over there and we played some games. We'll talk about that in the next segment anyway. But besides that, I've been playing Battlefield 4 and Guild Wars 2. So yeah, not too much. Oh, and Pokemon. I almost have my second gym badge in Pokemon. JJ, I know you've got the game as well. What do you think of Pokemon and how far are you in there?
Well, I did the review for Pokemon X and Y. I thought it was pretty good. I think I believe I gave it either an 8 or a 9 out of 10 last time I checked. It was pretty good. I think the Street Pass stuff is pretty interesting. They have these things called Friend Safari that allow you to catch different varieties of Pokemon based on, who you run into via Street Pass, as well as also the online features are amazing. There's actually a big thing that came out not too long ago that there's the game-breaking glitch or game-breaking bug and exploit for the online battles that people have been utilizing and kind of really taking advantage of to really get ahead and get a much more bigger advantage when they're battling people online. So definitely be careful with that if you're jumping online with that game. But overall, as far as meat, as far as like, how much game you're going to get out of it, you're going to be spending a lot of time playing Pokemon. And you haven't even scratched the surface. If you're just on your second gym badge, there's plenty more to check out from where you're at now.
Yeah, it's just about finding the time to play it. I mean, I know it's portable and everything, but that game demands a lot of time and a lot of attention. So it's just about finding the right moments to play it, really. But I'm enjoying it, and yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. What about you?
Very nice, man. Very, very nice. If anything, after you've done, hopefully with Pokemon somewhere down the line, definitely check out A Link Between Worlds because that actually came out over the weekend too as well. And those right now are like the two big games that people are playing, especially for 3DS owners. Between Pokemon X and Y and Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. But more on that, I guess, later because that's a pretty cool game. But moving on, Mr. Edward V. Edward V, you've been playing and messing around with your Xbox One. I could tell earlier we saw you playing a little Killer Instinct. What's been going
Yeah,
on
that's
with you?
right. Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat as Rich here. I'm all next gen out. I'm not returning. So peace out. Xbox 360 was good.
He's in the future right now.
I'm in the future, man. I can't be around with these peasant gamers, man. I'm a true gamer. Day one editions, everything. You know how we do. But
Yeah,
but I mean, should I just get right into what I've been playing or save it for
of
the?
course. Get right into what you're playing, man.
Alright, man. So I guess the first game I played on my 360, not 360, my Xbox One was Killer Instinct. So I went ahead, downloaded that immediately as soon as I opened my box. Pretty fucking happy when I opened that box, by the way. Um, yeah, downloaded that immediately, played a few rounds of that, and then I also bought Call of Duty Ghost because I have a friend who also bought Call of Duty, and it made sense. Like, fuck it, let's play together. That seems to run well. I mean, the whole thing with that game was, dedicated servers. Pretty much, Call of Duty always ran well to me, so, I mean, it was never an issue finding a server, whatever. But, yeah, that game was pretty cool. I haven't really touched the campaign too much, but the multiplayer it's a lot better than what I played of Black Ops 2, which I immediately hated when I played that game. Um, Other than that, I've also got a chance to play Dead Rising. I mean, I played a little bit of Dead Rising 1 and 2. I never really got into those games. Um, but yeah, Dead Rising seems 3 seems pretty good. There's a lot of annoyances that I don't like in that game. Just like little minor stuff like just picking up items off the floor is like kind of a hassle. Like especially when there's a bunch of items on the floor, you kind of pick up the wrong item that you want.
Yeah,
Uh,
I found the camera can be annoying as well. Like,
yeah, just little annoyances. But other than that, it seems pretty cool. I really haven't had that much problem with the frame rate yet. I know that was a big issue for people, but I mean, I haven't really played it that much, but so far it's pretty good. It's a lot of fun just driving around, running over zombies and stuff. Um, and then I finally got a chance to play Rise, which I tweeted out saying that, okay, now I feel like I'm playing next gen. Rise looks fucking beautiful, man. Like, I'm not a graphics whore or anything, but it does look great. And I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, the graphics look amazing and Killzone looks amazing and whatnot." I'm not a graphics whore at all, but and yeah, it does look awesome. But I'm still in that little camp where I'm saying like, okay, I don't see how this cannot be done on 360 yet. Um,
Yeah.
Is it the reason really to buy an Xbox One right now, or at least one
hmm.
a legitimate reason to buy an Xbox One?
Rise, probably not the single reason. Like, I wouldn't tell anybody to go buy an Xbox immediately because of Rise, because I mean, it is the first, a launch game, and it's probably not there to its full potential. I'm pretty sure Crytek would have wanted to do more with that game. But yeah, I mean, I actually really like Rise. I know the reviews they got, I got some like so-so reviews, which is kind of what I expected. But yeah, I mean, the combat is simple. There's a lot of things going against this game, but it's just fucking fun to play. Like, I like performing those executions, and the combat is pretty good. It's smooth, and I mean, it is simple as hell and pretty basic, but I just really like that game so far from what I've been playing. And it seems to be really short, which is another problem, because I'm already halfway done and I barely started playing that game yesterday. So, I mean, I don't know. I definitely want to check it out till its end.
Cool. All right. Cool.
All
Cool.
right, I'm not even done, man. When I said I'm a fucking fanboy of
Huh.
Xbox, I went ahead and got a shitload of games. So another game I've been playing was Local Cycle,
Oh God.
and the history with Local Cycle was that me, Rich, and Gary, this was our first ever Xbox One game that we played. We got a chance to play it at E3. And at the time, it was okay. To be fair, when we're at E3, at these conventions, we play these games for like 30 minutes. So, you know, and with a developer there watching us, which is kind of not intimidating, but you kind of feel pressured to say something good about it. Um, and I know and the history with Local Cycle was, yeah, it's our first game, but it also got pretty bad reviews. I think it got like a 4 out of 10 from somebody, like sixes and fives and stuff. I actually like Local Cycle, yo. I like it. It's stupid fun. It has some stupid ass cutscenes, that full motion video, like, which don't make sense at all. It's a retarded ass game, and I can totally understand why people would hate this game, but I like it. It's different, and it's just stupid fun to me. Like, it's so stupid, it's good to me. It's at that point.
It's so stupid. It's good to you.
It
That's why you
might be
like it.
like, those movies where like it's so dumb you like it. Like, I think this
Shoot
might
'em
be the
up.
equivalent of that for games though. Like, this game, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's so bad that it's good. It's not like Rogue Warrior. Rogue Warrior was so bad that it's kind of funny and good and you want to play it. But Local Cycle is kind of just like, it definitely has a niche that it's reaching out for, and not many people are gonna like it. But it resonates with me a little bit. I like it.
All right. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And
So, yeah,
and
what were you
then
gonna say?
another game. I
That's
play
my
some
guy.
games, man. I play some games. I've been playing games. Another game I played a little bit of, and I don't really want to talk much about it, was FIFA 14, which I got for free thanks to Carl. So shout out to
Uh-oh.
him. Uh, I played a little bit of that. I have not played a FIFA game since 2004, but this one was okay. There wasn't much to it. I don't really know much of the controls, so I was kind of just winging it. But it seems fun. One of the things that I don't like about sports games, and just sports games in general, is just the whole career thing. It's so weird and it's so hardcore. Like, it's so hard to get into for somebody like me who, I don't follow FIFA, I don't follow Madden, I don't follow baseball. It's really hard to get into those career and coach modes. I don't really have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. So I mean, I don't see myself playing FIFA that long. Maybe for a few exhibition matches against my brother, but um, it's okay. I mean, And I think that's pretty much it for my Xbox One talk.
All right, interesting. So, with that being said, let me ask Rich a quick question that kind of segues right into our next topic. Your impressions overall of the Xbox One, the UI, how games load up, your overall feeling, in a generalized statement of how you feel about Xbox One right now that you own one.
Well, I would say I have some very early impressions. We'll make that very clear right now. But I would say, yeah, the UI is very similar to how the Xbox 360 is. I mean, I actually set up everything the way that they instructed, also with the cable box as well. And I can tell you that works just as good as it's advertised. Because, I can just say, I'm not going to say it now because I don't want to watch TV right now, but I could just say the command and I'll be able to watch TV if I wanted to. But so far, I mean, it's great. I downloaded Killer Instinct. That took a little bit of time. I was already forewarned that Rise is going to take a long time, so, to be prepared for that. But so far, I have no real complaints. It's pretty easy, simple to use. I know some people were saying, oh, it's very difficult to navigate. No, it's not. You just need to know what you're doing, pay attention, and you'll be fine.
Cool. Pretty interesting. So, with that being said, let's move on a little bit let's talk a little bit about Black Friday. Black Friday is tomorrow.
What? How you not gonna ask me?
Son, you just talked about a whole bunch of Xbox One.
That's
stuff.
that's all I want to talk about. It's a console, bro. Like, we gotta talk about this shit because he was way nicer. He gave you early impressions. I'm gonna give you like true Xbox fan impressions.
Okay, so then tell us a little bit about the UI. Tell us a little bit about the games loading up and such. Let's talk about the marketplace. I heard that the marketplace went through a name change.
Well, in the marketplace, they have it cut off into segments, so it's just apps, music, movies, and TV, and games. And what Microsoft is doing now is just game. They don't. Xbox Live Arcade is kind of done. It doesn't exist anymore. On Xbox One, games are games are games. So every game is kind of equal to itself, whether it's an indie game, arcade game, whatever. So it's kind of just this all-in-one store for games or whatever type of media you're looking for. So yeah, that's the thing about the store, and it runs great. I could find anything, and especially when you have like a search or how Connect to navigate you through that, it's kind of easy. As far as the UI, yeah, I do agree with Rich. It is easy, but it is annoying to find stuff quickly that you want. I feel like they kind of took a step back from what they were doing great on 360, which is, you push the guide, it brings you up to the little guide, and you can see your friends, you can see your party immediately, which you can still do that stuff to an extent with Xbox One, but it just, the time there it takes too long. Because once you push that guide now, it kind of zooms out whatever you're doing, whether it's your show or your game, and now you're seeing your fucking shit, man.
Like a whole bunch of options.
Now you're seeing all your options and shit. Hold on, I'm being interrupted. And see, there's a problem with video, but what I was saying, you see all those instructions where you have to click through this to get to friends and click through this to get to party, and that's just kind of a hassle. Even with Connect, I found like just little annoyances where you say Xbox, go to friends. It'll bring up your friends thing, but it won't show you immediately your friends list of who's on and stuff. You gotta say, okay, friends again, and then it'll bring you to friends. So yeah, that's just a little annoyance that I have. There's also other small annoyances, like, I don't know if you guys heard, but the controller battery indicator, so to find out, okay, my battery's about to die, they don't have that at all. So you will never know when your controller's about to die.
Oh no.
You will have no idea.
They gotta patch that in.
They have to patch Um, what else don't I like?
There was one
Uh,
thing like that
I
we had. Yeah, I'll let you go first though.
all right. One thing I don't like, the party system. Um, okay, now let's say me and Swift want to play Call of Duty Black Ops. We're both in our lobby. I'm gonna invite Swift to my game. It automatically sends a party invite. But when and he'll join my party once he joins my game, and then we're partied up together. It parties us up, so that me and him can move around game to game together seamlessly. But in order for us to talk, we have to click on the thing that says turn on party chat every fucking time, and that is annoying as hell. If I'm gonna invite Gary to a party with me, and he accepts, he should automatically be in my party chat. I should not have to push a button for myself and him push a button for himself to be in the party chat. So that's just dumb to me, like, because then it could get confusing where I decided to put party chat on and he didn't. And then I'm like wondering, I'm talking to Gary, hey, what the fuck? How come I can't hear you? Blah 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 blah. And he can't hear me because he's not in the correct party or whatever, in the correct option of that voice command thing. But that's really annoying. And it hasn't been annoying for me because I'm playing with somebody who fucking knows what the fuck they're doing. But I imagine when you're in a party with like five of your friends, and things can occur. Um, and then there's the other annoyances I have, but it seems like I'm talking too much.
Yeah, like the one bad experience I had with Carl when we was using it. We wanted to play Rise, so we put the game in, and it starts installing the game. And as you know, you're able to play the game while it's installing. You're able to launch the game. But when we launched the game, it then said we needed an update. So then it starts downloading the update plus installing the game off the disk at the same time.
Jesus, that sounds like it was a recipe for
So
disaster. What
Yeah,
happened?
there's like two little Rise icons now on the dashboard or whatever, doing two different things. Like, and so what I think it should do is it should check before it even starts installing. It should check if there's an update, and then it will download the update first, install it, and then you install the game off the disk. Like that would make more sense. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was my bad experience with it because it took us like 15 to 20 minutes to get Rise working.
I can't
Wow.
really blame it that much on that front. Um, because at that point it's like kind of on you to keep your games updated or whatever. And the Xbox, I believe it updates games automatically while it's whatever, while it's what's the mode called, just like in the background,
standby.
whatever, standby, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's other annoyances. One of them, real quick, I just wanted to name. I feel like achievements, they're kind of lame, bro. They
Yeah.
Why
kind
are
of they
achievements lame? Why you say
they
that?
Really?
kind of made lame because like when you get an achievement in the game, you used to push the guide button. It takes you automatically to, okay, here's the achievement you got. Here's why you got it.
Yeah,
This one, you had to hold it in for
yeah, you have to
one.
hold it in. That threw me
It
off.
brings you to the notifications where you put, okay, let me check what the achievement was for. And then it brings up the achievement page, and then you gotta search for that achievement. It's like, God, why? Why did
Wow.
y'all do this?
It's just,
And
I'm
it's,
pretty
this
sure
is
maybe that'll come later down the line in an update or something.
and yeah, and all the things that I said, it could definitely all be updated,
Yeah,
probably easily, or maybe not so easily. But
but some of it should just already be there. Like,
yeah, and to be fair, these are annoyances for me who I spent like countless hours on the 360. So I know what I want from my Xbox. I know what I want from an Xbox experience. So I'm talking about just as a fan of Xbox, I know what I want. So these might not be like problems for just a regular consumer or whatever. But well, yeah, there's also one little thing I want to, and this is the last one. When you get an achievement, at the bottom, it tells you, okay, you got Jago Apprentice, 5 points. And then it comes, and then the little text scrolls and it says, hold the Xbox button for details. If you
Yeah.
look closely, the fucking letters that say hold Xbox button for details is not even centered correctly.
That sounds like a little nitpicky.
And once you see it, no, but once you see it, it fucking annoys the shit out of me. It fucking annoys me. I want to choke somebody, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could pretty much say that both systems aren't perfect right now, but you know, I mean,
Um, I disagree with that, but
go
let me
go
just say
ahead.
this.
What would you
Wait,
just?
which one's perfect?
Yeah, which one do you think
You
is
said
perfect?
both systems. You said both systems aren't perfect, as in terms of the software, right?
Yeah, it's in terms of like UI navigation, you know, software.
Uh, honestly, the navigation on PlayStation 4 is 10 times better, right, from what I've seen so far.
Wow.
It looks to me the Xbox One looks a little bit jumbled up. Like there's like so much going on in your face.
That's the thing that Ed was talking about. Yeah, it's a lot going on. Um, I mean, like I say, I'm very early into my, so I'll talk more about it the next show. But so far, I mean, it's not bad. It's great. Some of the things that you were nitpicky about, Ed, I understand exactly what you mean, because I don't understand how Microsoft could backtrack on so many things when they did so many things right with the 360. So I don't know. I don't get it.
I think the updates like give you like a month or so. Watch, there's gonna be like a series of updates for like a lot of those things. I'm pretty sure.
But I will say one thing before you go to the next topic. It's, from what I've seen, it's not just the system itself. Them microtransactions and the people that's been talking about all the stuff with Forza, all this other stuff, that's a problem too. So they didn't just backtrack on the software; it's the other business stuff as well. That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
elaborate on that a little bit, like specifically, like real quickly. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Now I haven't played Forza 4. I know Ed probably has, so he could talk more about this. Everyone was talking about the fact that that game, you started it, there was about 500 cars in that game, whereas in Forza 5 it's a lot less cars, and they charge you for every single car that you, for most of the other cars that you want. I mean, there was a post made on the site today saying that, you know, Microsoft Turn 10 decided to give a discount over the next couple of days for people who want to buy the cars because so many people was angry about it. So the microtransactions thing that's a little outrageous.
I've,
What?
to my knowledge, that stuff is like cars that aren't technically, I guess, I don't know, technically not on the game. They're kind of just downloadable cars.
Okay.
But they are doing microtransactions, I believe, for like credits. So like, let's say you want to buy a Ferrari that actually is on disc and everything, but you don't really don't want to wait and get all the credits to buy it. You can decide to, do a microtransaction and get, tokens or whatever, and then buy that car.
Yeah.
Same thing for Rise. Even Rise has microtransactions so that, like, let's say I just want to level up my warrior. I don't want to play the game for stupid reason. I don't know. But let's just say I don't want to play the game. I just want the baddest fucking warrior ever. I can just decide, okay, I'll pay $20, give me all the tokens and stuff, and I'll just buy my shit. So, I mean, in that regard, I really don't, I personally don't have a problem with that type of microtransactions, or in general, I have never seen a microtransaction that was appalling to me. Because as long as you can get that stuff, if you play the game, if you grind out the game, and to me, that's fair game. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of weird that they're doing.
I think that the issue with that though comes with more competitive multiplayer. I think that's when specifically becomes an issue, because then when you're able to buy like weapons that are at least a little bit much more like top tier stuff, or stuff that's going to give you a heavily advantage over everybody else because you're able to pay off a little bit more, while it's good for you in the competitive scene like that in the environment, that's when it starts to cause issues with balance and stuff. But if it's like for single player stuff, a la Dead Space 3 a little bit, then I can understand where like nobody should be really caring about it, because it's that individual person's experience and they decided to spend the money on that specifically. Okay, same
Yeah,
thing
I
with
agree.
Forza, or I mean, same thing with was it Need for Speed, whatever. I think that's much more the individual person. If they choose to do that and they want to give Microsoft or whatever the amount of money to do so, just so they could get a little bit further in the game, there really shouldn't be nothing wrong with that. But yeah, with that being said, though, okay, let's talk. Let's move on a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Black Friday. Black Friday is tomorrow. Okay, it's Turkey Day for most of us here in the United States. Okay, so Black Friday, there's some deals coming out for a lot of different places. GameStop, Best Buy, Target, Walmart. All these different places. Are going to be putting out all their sales, and people are going to run to the stores to pick up their games. So if there's any specific deals that you guys know about, or specifically, let's spice it up a little bit. Tell us about one specific game that people should be picking up on Black Friday. Let's start off with Rich.
Okay, that's easy. If you own a PlayStation 3 and you have not played The Last of Us, you need to get your life in order and you need to pick that up ASAP. I'm looking on Amazon right now. They were running a lightning deal special where you can pick up the game for $25.
Oh, hell yeah.
Now, that deal is pretty much on hold for now. It just started about 20 minutes ago and already they fulfilled most of the orders. Um, that's a game, and then you can also pick it up at Best Buy for 35. But that's a game you most certainly need to get if you have a PlayStation 3. You've been looking for a game to play. You need to make sure that that's the number one game you pick up. Um, that's the main one I would say.
Interesting.
I don't know which other ones you guys would suggest.
Gary, any specific games people have to pick up on Black Friday?
See, like over the UK, Black Friday isn't as big a deal, but because it is such a big deal to you guys, sites like Amazon do deals over here as well. And I'm on Amazon right now, and I see they have a Wii U upcoming deal, and FIFA. Uh, I mean, nothing really catches my eye in particular, but if you're from the UK, definitely get on Amazon and see what's there. There's loads of different options. Um,
Interesting.
yeah.
Very cool. So, Ed, your pick. One game specifically that everybody should pick up on Black Friday that they have to pick up, especially for the holiday season.
Um, I'll probably just tell everybody to stay their ass home.
Okay, but if they're not staying home or whatnot, what's the one game that they should be going to the store to buy
Now,
or picking
one
up online?
game. I mean, I haven't seen much of the Black Friday deals, but I know like Rich said, I got to co-sign Rich. Last of Us, maybe Batman Origins. I know that's like $39.99, which is kind of a good deal. It's $40, better than 60. But yeah, that's kind of those games that we kind of missed out because there's a rush of games right now. But what was I gonna say? Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. But just since we're talking about deals and stuff, I do have that. I guess I want to promote this, and I'm not getting paid for this shit at all. I should, but that Best Buy Unlocked Gamers thing is a
Oh
fucking
yes,
steal. Is a fucking steal, and I
What
have
is
to.
that specifically for the guys that don't know?
yes,
Well,
yes.
now it's kind of a shitty deal now. It works great if you were already an unlocked member previously, which means you just kind of get deals and you get a bunch of coupons. But now they kind of revised their whole thing, and I guess they made a super duper package or whatever. And now it costs, I believe, $120 for 2-year membership, which is a
That's right.
lot. It is a lot, and that is a shitty deal in my opinion. Uh, but because I was already a member previously, my membership kind of extends to wherever it was gonna end, and they gave me a coupon so that I can extend it for an additional year for just $30. So I'm definitely gonna do that. And what that does, it gives you 20% off any new game. So I bought Rise, I bought Dead Rising, I bought Assassin's Creed, I bought Call of Duty, I bought Super Mario, all for $47 each, which
hmm
is it's essentially like I'm buying PS2 and Xbox games. And so I'm seeing savings immediately, man. That's a fucking great deal in my opinion.
That sounds
That's
good.
pretty cool.
I
That's pretty interesting.
also
Yeah.
Also, want to add it works for pre-orders because I already looked at the pre-orders for Watch Dogs and Destiny, 47.99. So yes, people should
Not
jump on
bad.
that.
Not bad at all. Very interesting. So, moving on from there, let's get into the meat of our discussion here, the meat of the turkey here. Let's talk about next gen a little bit because now both next gen consoles are out. Some of us have one, some of us have two, some of us don't have any, but the next gen is here for the most part. So,
Who's
with
That
that
guy
being
right there, that guy over there.
with that being said, right, okay, what specifically, if there's one thing that you want to see done right or done better in this upcoming next generation of gaming, what would that be? Let's start off with Gary. Gary, what's the one thing you want to see done more of or you want to see, come to light in the next gen?
um that's a tough question actually. I just want to see, better quality games, and I think I really more so want to see like a change in attitude with the developers and stuff. Like, I don't want them to continue with the trends that they've been doing, currently on this gen, where they put out a game and they issue like day one patches to fix everything that they didn't have time to fix and stuff. Like, I want them to take the time to perfect games and just fully utilize the system's capabilities, when they're creating these games, because the technology is so powerful now, and because it is like a PC architecture, the games now can be so much better than they could have been before, across the board as well. Like, because we're not going to see that much of a difference between, PS4 and Xbox One until like maybe later on, like in the last few years of the consoles generation or whatever. But we're not going to see too much of a difference. So, a lot of the games are going to be on par, which means, I think there just needs to be more innovation to separate the two, really. It's all got to be about innovation and utilizing the full potential of each console, in my opinion.
Hmm. All right, so Ed, this generation's here. What do you want to see done more of in this gen?
Um, I'm not. The thing I want to see most is something I've never seen before, so I can't really say. I'm
Yeah.
definitely just trying to find something that's just new, like something that I would never have thought of that could be done possible, whether it's, I don't believe it's gonna be that what's that thing called? The one you put on your eyes, Oculus Rift? I don't believe it's gonna be that. That's too hard. Uh, and I don't think that's as accessible to everybody. But I
Hmm.
mean, if games could go somewhere along that route, or just bring everybody just more together, in a perfect world, the best thing that could happen ever was that Xbox gamers and and PS3 gamers or PS4 gamers can play multiplayer games in under one umbrella. So I can play a game against a PlayStation 3 player on Call of Duty or something. That would be fucking fantastic. I don't think that's possible, but you never know.
It is
Probably never
possible.
happen.
It is possible. It's just not going to happen because the companies want you to buy their system to play with people, so it's
In
just not.
their environment. They have their own
Yeah,
unique environments for their own online infrastructure. So,
yeah.
yeah. Now, anyway, with that being said, Rich, this coming next gen, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, what do you want to see more of?
I would like to see new IPs all over the place. Like I said, I know Uncharted 4 is coming. I will definitely be picking that up, and I already know Naughty Dog will bring top quality with that. But I want to see some more new IPs out there. Just as was mentioned earlier, Last of Us was excellent. I'm looking forward to a lot of games that have been announced, such as you know, take for example Quantum Break. I was expecting the Alan Wake 2, but when I started to see more and hear more recently about this game, I'm looking forward to this game now. Stuff like that. I just want to see more people trying to push the envelope with instead of just sticking to doing, here's a Tomb Raider 2, which is gonna happen. Here's I just want to see new IPs out there for the most part.
Especially from capable companies like, yeah, like with a person like Naughty Dog, like we know it's kind of hard for them to make a shitty game.
Yeah.
So like if you know, like we see like okay, they stepped out of Uncharted for a little bit, and they made Last of Us, which is fucking
And we
great.
got the
So
Order 1886 coming out from them as well.
yeah, so it's just like I guess I kind of do want that uh from just companies that I know can prove themselves. So I don't want Naughty Dog to just stick to Uncharted. I don't want uh I don't know what other fucking company I can name, but I don't want people to go with what they know. I want them to take risks.
You don't want a lot of sequels. You want new,
Yeah,
fresher ideas.
yeah.
That's going to segue right into my next thing, that we could kind of talk about. What are the type of franchises or type of games you want to see in the next gen? Because I know, at least personally for me, I know it was a little bit piece of news, but it got debunked went up. But there was talk about Crash Bandicoot coming back to Sony. Like there was this whole little kind of like little teaser thing, here and there in one of the PlayStation commercials. And then Activision kind of debunked it, saying that they still owned Crash Bandicoot. But I would love to see like older IPs, like older franchises that have been kind of been dead or locked away for a long time, especially from places like Nintendo, where they have like all these other games that have just never been revisited, like Star Fox, like maybe a brand new Kid Icarus game, or even hopefully got heaven allow like a new Earthbound or stuff like that. But even from like Sony, again, I would love to see them maybe get the rights back for Crash Bandicoot, or maybe get some sort of other IPs that we haven't seen in God, like ages, like a new Medieval, that would be interesting. It would feel fresher, even though it would be something that's still essentially nostalgic, but it would still have a
Yeah.
fresh coat of paint. Same thing with Microsoft. You could say a new Cameo, a new God. Was it Beyond Good and Evil 2, something like that? If that game ever comes out. But things like that, I feel like there would be a good basis to start from, because I feel like having fresher, newer IPs, as good as that might sound, they're not going to fly with a lot of the people in this generation, this audience. Because I mean, look at a game like Knack. Granted, it's a brand new IP and it's something, one of the first launch titles for the PlayStation 4. Outside of the game being what it is, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were just like, why would I even really care? Let me go get Killzone Shadowfall instead, because I know more than likely that's going to be good. It's going to be the same thing with other games coming out, like Uncharted 4 or whatnot, and obviously Halo down the line for Xbox One. I mean, what do you guys think about this, Rich?
I do agree with what you say. I did want to say this about the sequels in terms of as far as the sequels are concerned. I don't have a problem with the studio doing a sequel, but it needs to be a true sequel. Now, let me give you an example.
No more that
Gears,
prequel nonsense.
yeah, exactly. Gears of War 2 and 3. Okay, those are clearly sequels. So that Gears of War Judgment game, what the hell was that? That was more so DLC.
You could even say Batman Arkham Origins, even to an extent.
You can, you can make that argument and say that. And I'll be the first to say, I know Killzone Shadowfall is a sequel to Killzone 3, but because I look at that and I'm saying this is not Killzone 4, then I'm gonna think, well, this is not really a true sequel. But I can't fully say that because I just haven't really been interested in playing the game. I have the game. I just haven't played it yet because I've been playing NBA 2K14. So, but I understand what you're saying. I agree. What do you guys think?
I kind of definitely agree with what JJ's saying. Even for like he didn't mention them, but even a company like Microsoft, they got a lot of IPs that they kind of dust off, man. Like, okay, yeah, maybe Perfect Dark didn't do so good when it came back
I
on
would love
PC,
to see a new Perfect Dark.
but yeah, like, who wouldn't want to see that? And like with
Or new Conker's Bad Fur Day.
a
That'd be
new
sweet.
Conquer, a new banjo done right without the whole gimmicky nuts and bolts thing. Like, just give me
Or
a straight up
because they own Rare, what about a new
adventure.
Jet Force Gemini? Even though that was back on N64, I mean, since they own Rare now at this point, it would definitely be cool to have like a new franchise like that for them in their arsenal.
Nah, we good, but
Man, Jet Force Gemini was great.
we good on that note. But yeah, Perfect Dark or something like that. Uh, but yeah, I mean they have a lot of stuff they could do, and one of the things that pissed me off was like when they acted surprised about the reaction that Killer Instinct got. Like, hey, you guys asked for it, so we gave it to you, and oh wow, we're surprised that you guys still love it. Like, bitch, we people have been clamoring for a new Killer Instinct game for years, and you just now giving it to us. I mean, good thing that Killer Instinct turned out to be good, but it's like, are you really that deaf and blind that you don't understand that people want a fucking Conquer game? They want
Banjo
a
game.
Perfect Dark. They want Banjo. Like, use them, man. You got them. Use them.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know, Gary. What do you think of this, man? I mean, do you want to see? You want to see more kind of like new IPs? Do you want to see like games that have been dead for a long time?
Yeah, two games actually come to mind, and one of them has been rumored recently, and that game is Shenmue 3. Now, I definitely want to see them finish this finally, and there was a rumor that it's coming to PS4 as like an exclusive or whatever, but I don't know how true that is. It's probably fake.
That's
I
never
mean,
true.
there
But I
was
would,
the recent, there was
No,
like
it's
today,
not
the yeah, there was today's rumor that it got trademarked, but then that turned out to be fake immediately.
oh, okay, yeah, it's probably fake, but I would love to
Well,
finally just see them put that to rest. Like I
Have
think
you?
it
I
has.
Have you?
Yeah,
Have you?
I know some information about that. Um,
Go ahead.
GDC, which is coming up in March, they're having a retrospective where basically the creator is going to talk about the original Shenmue. But interestingly enough, he's going to be talking about this right along with Mark Cerny. So I'm not saying it's for sure coming out on PlayStation 4, but he has a very good relationship with the people that are over at Sony, namely Mark Cerny. So I don't know. We'll
It
see what
won't
happens.
happen, and it won't
You
happen.
know why I want them to finish it though? Because I think if they do a Shenmue, it has the potential to like spawn a completely new series based in like the same world or setting or whatever.
Don't we already
So
have that
like,
in Yakuza? Pretty much,
yeah, I
because
know.
Yakuza is like the same thing.
I know a lot of people say that that's like the spiritual successor and stuff, but I mean, it is different characters at the end of the day. Like, and there's room for two of them. You can have Yakuza and Shenmue, alongside each other. So,
Yeah.
that would be cool. And another one is The Getaway, and this is mainly because like
Payday the
since
Heist.
now, since like Grand Theft Auto, London or whatever, we haven't really like seen. I mean, the Getaway games came after, but we haven't really like had an enjoyable open experience in London, and I would love to see that with like next gen graphics and everything. So, I think that would be pretty cool to bring that back this generation.
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
want
You
to
just want your
see.
hometown to be featured in the game. That's all it is, man.
It's not
I
even
got
really my hometown, but I live close enough, I guess.
Yeah.
two games I want to see real quick. Is 8 Days
Oh
and
yeah.
And what's the
and
other one? The Last Guardian?
nah, the Agent.
The Agent?
Yeah,
Yeah, Agent still,
Rockstar, man.
That's
ain't heard
the
nothing
that's
about
the
them.
biggest L ever to come from E3.
Seriously.
I will tell you one thing. If Agent ever comes out, I heavily doubt it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation
Oh
now.
hell, no, not now.
No, it's over now because they
Maybe a
know.
mission.
Let me put it this way.
Yeah,
I think the Last Guardian has more of a chance of coming out than the Agent does.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I don't know.
See, they're just teasing us with the Last Guardian, man. Like,
I have a
they,
strong feeling that game's a PS4 game right now. Like, because there was
Oh
even
yeah,
talk about. I think the creator came out and said that they're still working on it. The project's not dead yet, but at this point, like if it's not coming out on PlayStation 4, within like the next like 6-7 months or like the end of next year, that game's never coming out at that point. But with that
yeah,
being said, though, let me ask you guys this one. It's kind of like a nice wrap up to this co-op podcast. How long do you think this new generation of gaming is going to last? Because the last generation of gaming lasted about 10 years. Like we've had that roughly around 10-year life cycle, give or take, a few years. How long do you think this one's going to last? Because the next gen consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4, they're built kind of like PCs at this point for the most part.
yeah.
What can really change within from now until like whatever next generation comes afterwards? How long do you think that lasts?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, about them being like PCs because that's exactly what's going to make them not last long because you'll know you'll know like
Wow.
how quickly PC parts become out of date. Like, it takes a few years. And even today, one of the Sony reps from Europe, he said that he doesn't think this generation will be as long as the last one, and the last one was 6 years. So yeah, I mean,
Well, for
take
them,
that how you want.
Hmm. Okay,
Well,
so then hey, give us a number. How long do you think this will last, Gary?
I mean, see, the thing is, like, it's a different day, 2013 is a different age we live in. Like, you have tablets coming out every year, like people are getting more and more used to buying new technology on a more consistent basis. So I think that, we might even see, like, they might still call it PS4 and Xbox One, but I'm thinking we might see an upgraded version of it, like an
Okay, but
upgraded
that doesn't count
SKU
as like a new
with
generation.
new it does if they put new parts in it. I'm thinking they might do something like that where they'll still have the old version, but then they'll have the new souped up version with better parts and stuff. That might be better for them to do because then it will trick the consumer into thinking, okay, this is not a completely new product, but it's better than it previously was. And it might trick them into upgrading. They might offer different upgrade packages or something like that. Just to ease customers in a little bit, because consoles are a really expensive investment. So
Isn't
you
that
can't
already
really have
done with the
them.
last generation though? Like the last generation, we got the Xbox 360 Slim, we got the new versions of the
Yeah, but
PS3.
they didn't update specs though. They updated like the design and stuff. So that doesn't really count as like a new step up because they didn't change the actual technology itself. They just changed the cosmetic appearance of it.
All right, that's fair enough. Rich, how long do you think this generation of consoles last?
yeah, good question. I mean, I think it could potentially last as long as the current one. The one thing I will say I'm very confused about though is I know Microsoft and Sony said they will continue to support the 360 and PS3 at least for the next 4 years. I don't think that that's a fair number to say because I mean you want people by that. I would think by that time you want people to get a PlayStation 4 or a Xbox One. So I mean it would have to last long for for this to be relevant because you can't say we're gonna support the PlayStation 3 and Xbox for the next 4 years and then 2 years later this generation ends and then another console comes out. I mean, I think it could last at least another 6 or 7 years, but I'm not 100% sure.
Hmm.
I'll say five max. Like that's my guess.
Five max? You're calling about five, between 5 and 7 years?
Yeah, I'll say five.
Five max though.
All
Yeah,
right.
it's
What about
possible.
you, Ed? What about you, Ed? Like, how long do you think this generation of consoles is gonna last? Like, give us a time frame when it kind of expires.
well, I was just thinking, like, while you were asking everybody, like, if I took the time for the Xbox 360 and the PS3, it was like 7, 8 years that those consoles lived, give or take. And I'm just thinking, man, 7, 8 years from now, we're gonna be 2020, like, and I just don't believe that these consoles are gonna be around 2020, man. That just seems like a distant future. Maybe that's why I'm looking at it that way.
Yeah, that
Uh,
seems like we'll be having like flying cars and shit like that.
I don't know
yeah,
about that. We all probably have jetpacks at that point.
but
We'll be doing co-op podcasts from the air, 20,000 feet in the air.
yeah, that just seems like a distant future. But I don't know. I kind of do agree with Gary. I think we might start seeing consoles where like they're not exactly new consoles, but you're just buying better specs for them. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I believe that Sony and Microsoft want you to buy more consoles, more, you know, if they could, I'm pretty sure they'd release a new console every 5 years or whatever. And developers, I know we've seen developers talking about it. Oh, like we want better consoles and blah 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 blah. I think even the Ubisoft president said he hopes to have more consoles more often than not. So I mean, I
That
think
brings up a good question. Like, when the next generation comes around, right? Do you think it's going to be more the consumers that kind of call for a new console, or is it going to be developers? Because this generation that just came in now, I feel like it was more developers asking for a new console rather than the consumers. Like it wasn't like me as a consumer, I
Yeah,
wasn't clamoring for a new console because there were still all these games here for me to enjoy, for me to experience and whatnot. It felt like the developers either they got bored or like they were just so fed up with some of the infrastructure stuff with the PlayStation 3 or the Xbox
yeah,
360 or
yeah.
whatever have you, that they wanted something new, a little bit much more grounded.
You're completely right about that because I mean, the you need the industry to move forward. After because it was getting to that point where like we've seen some of like we've seen the consoles peak. We've seen games peak. We've seen like Uncharted. We've seen Gears of War. All these different games that push the limits, and it was getting to the point where there was starting to be like a lack of innovation, and obviously Call of Duty was taking over, and it was the same. We were getting the same thing like every year, like same franchises, IPs or whatever. So when it gets to that point, you kind of need something to push these developers forward a bit more and get them developing new things, and you got to put the battery in their back, man, and make them work on the future. So I think it was the developers more so than the consumers. The consumers probably would have been happy playing Call of Duty for the next 5 years or whatever. But you have to let the developers get that creativity in them and pave the way forward.
True, very true. I don't know, Rich, what do you think about this? It was more developers or was more consumers this time around? Or which one do you think for the next one after this one will call for it? Be developers or consumers that call for it?
Well, I know I've seen a lot of videos about developers just saying how they were praising the fact that there was a PlayStation 4 because it's a lot easier to work on that system. Same for Xbox. So I think the developers were the main ones who wanted this stuff more so they can feel that they didn't have any restrictions making their games. Um, but to answer your question, I think it'll be a little bit of both next year. I'm going to say next generation, developers and consumers. Because I only got rushed out to get the systems because I knew that they was going to be, hot items. I wanted to jump on, and I personally have never ever been able to actually buy a launch console ever since I was younger. I always got them Christmas time, or eventually I got them, but never at launch. So this was the first. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it for both.
Very cool. So, Ed, final thoughts on this, this generation of consoles. Do you think it's much more developers that are going to call for a new hardware, or is it going to be more consumers that call for new hardware when this generation comes to an eventual end?
I think probably developers. I think as a consumer myself, like I would have been okay if there was no Xbox One or PS4. I wasn't necessarily clamoring for them. I mean, I believe we haven't even reached the potential of those systems, to be honest, because we got some great ass games even this year. I mean, the game of the year for this year isn't an Xbox One game, and it isn't a PS4 game. It's those old games from last gen. We just got BioShock, which is just a great fucking game, and then Last of Us, like Rich said, is probably gonna be game of the year. So I think if they're still able to put out these great games on last gen systems, it's more of an issue of who you're developing for and whatnot. And I know Ubisoft's the one who's kind of clamoring for oh, we need new consoles, we can do better, blah blah blah. But I mean, dog, you're making Assassin's Creed every fucking year, and yeah, so I don't think Ubisoft should be talking that much.
Nah, I kind of feel what they're saying though, because sorry to get all PC gamer on you, but when new console technology comes out, it means a huge boost in what can be done on the PC as well. So like, not only are the console games going to be better, but you're going to be able to really push the limits on PC technology as well. So I'm really looking forward to what comes next.
Sounds sweet. I mean, there's a lot to look forward to. I mean, we're just really getting started on this next generation of consoles. They haven't even been out at least a month yet. So there's a lot to look forward to. We got more games coming down the line, more games coming next year. Infamous Second Son, Watch Dogs, an eventual Halo game. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be really cool. So let's kind of wrap things up here. Let's go down the panel here with some final thoughts. Rich, any final thoughts for our listeners and our watchers out there?
Oh no! Once again, I'd like to wish everybody hope they had a happy Thanksgiving. If they're going out shopping for Black Friday, stay safe. And we will be back with more episodes. There will be a lot more next gen conversations in the future, so stay tuned.
All right, Eddie, what's the matter with you? What's going on? Final thoughts.
All I want to say is hit up those links right there. Follow me, all that shit. I should put my gamer tag on there. I'm probably gonna get rid of the Facebook, have that edited out, put my gamer tag so y'all can play with me. But
that's a cool idea. Yeah, we should do that. We should definitely do that. Put our
I
PSN.
just thought of that right now because I was like,
Put our PSN, put our Xbox 360 gamer tags.
Yeah.
Or Xbox One gamer tags now, I should say.
Yeah, shout out to your nunchucks too and them zebra sheets.
Yes, the nunchucks. You know you love the nunchucks. But Gary, final thoughts. What's happening?
Yeah, I just want to shout out the people who commented on the show last week because we were trying to make the show better and those people definitely helped. So shouts to Frag King 28, shouts to Player One, Casino 31, and the Seven Dog, of course. He's a Koalition OG. So yeah, shouts to all those guys. And make sure you leave the comment on this one and let us know what we can do better and what we can do to improve the show and everything. So yeah, that's all I got to say.
Definitely. Leave all your feedback, guys, over in the comment section over on thecoalition.com. Right below this actual video and this audio that you guys are listening to and watching. It's pretty cool. I guess big shout out to all the viewers and all the followers and the readers of thecoalition.com. We've got plenty of good content coming up, plenty of good things planned down the line. Hope everybody's enjoying their holiday season, eating up that turkey, playing games at the same time. Probably sitting there playing your Assassin's Creed 4, thinking about all kinds of cool stuff, whatnot. And also, I have to mention this because I haven't got a chance to do it yet. I have to do a big shout out to all the people that came out to see me while I was at Chibi Paw Infinity. Well, was it this past weekend? I had a live podcast recording there with my friend HMK. That we actually got to do a whole bunch of cool stuff, and we packed the full main ballroom, and that was awesome. And, a lot of fun moments. It was amazing. A lot of great people I got to see, and a lot of cool cosplay. I was actually in cosplay myself, and that was pretty cool. So thanks again to everybody. It was awesome. And then look at Ed here showing the picture that Japan Minute actually showing off. They took of me when I was down there. That was actually a cool picture. I'm not gonna lie. But with that being said, thanks again, guys. We all, from everybody here at the Coalition, we wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Eat up that turkey and that mashed potatoes and that mac and cheese and that cornbread and enjoy it. Play games. Have some fun. Everybody here, we will talk to you again real soon. Peace out. Stay epic, everybody.
Peace out.